What's up, y'all? We're the Knowitalls, Golden and Christopher. Two relatively knowledgeable guys talking about sports and other cool stuff. But today, on your first blessing, we're going to cover the Cavs-Warriors rivalry and pose questions like, did my Cavs underachieve? Did Golden's Warriors get lucky? And did OKC break up the Big Three too soon? Welcome to Episode 1, NBA Post-Dynasty Apocalypse.
I feel like that Cleveland team were underachievers.
Absolutely.
I feel like that was their championship to win, and they should have won it. And I'm not saying that I wouldn't take anything away from it. I think it gets blown out of proportion because the team they beat has 73 wins in the regular season. But with that being said, it's a reason why a team wins 73 games, but yet they go to 7-game series back-to-back. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Chicago Bulls aren't going to 7-game series when they win 72. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not going to happen. If you're really that good and you're really that, like, much better than everybody, you're not going to game sevens. And then physically,
I will say that I think the Warriors of that 70-something, they met a better team than the Bulls met in the finals of their 70-something. You know what I'm saying? LeBron was a creature that Jordan ain't seen no creature like LeBron in his finals.
True, but it's still all relative to me, though. Because
I got you.
I think, like, for an example, when people be like, the Bulls ain't beating such and such. You're right. That Bulls team wouldn't. But in modern basketball, if you give them some modern basketball players to go with Jordan and Pippen,
of course.
Then they're different. They're better.
Yeah.
You know
but
what I'm saying?
Now we're just going down a serious Pandora's.
No, but we got to go down there. That's the whole point. You know, you got to go down.
Larry Bird's the best player in the world by that logic. If we're going into that world, then I could play the game of if Larry Bird had any of LeBron's physicality.
No, that's not the same thing. That ain't even almost.
You're upgrading.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay, he's Luka now.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Bird is Luka.
No, I'm gonna tell you why it's not the same. I didn't say if you give Michael Jordan a 3-ball. I didn't say give him more attributes. I'm saying instead of having Steve Kerr, that might be a Stephen Curry. That might be a Trae Young. That might be. There's people that shoot threes now. They're just not a guy who just catches threes.
I know what you're saying. As far as
that might be Kemba Walker.
We're in a 3 league where
no. Listen, that may be Kemba Walker instead of Kerr. That could be somebody that can play like that. That can really handle. That can shoot.
Oof.
Now Kemba, but I'm just saying, a 3-point shooter into like nowadays, it can be somebody else that can do a lot more. So it's not going to be a Steve Kerr.
And I dig what you're saying.
How many guys out there now are like Steve Kerr that play a whole lot on teams? You probably can't really name them because they don't exist.
The closest thing, and that is proving your point to the transition, is probably like a JR.
That's the closest one.
And he still can put the ball down.
He can do a lot more than Kerr.
He can do way more than Kerr.
In the NBA, watch. Kerr was a hell of a player in college.
But also, then you got to say, well, then also, big men weren't physically as capable as far as putting the ball down, moving around. So then, okay, we got to trade Bill Winnington out for freaking, somebody closer to
it may be
Lamar Odom.
No, it don't have to be that. Bill Winnington,
or even a JaVale McGee is far
just more athletic.
That's ooh.
He's way more athletic than Bill Cartwright, Bill Winnington, and all of them.
But that defeats the whole point. The point is, as he stands, I don't know. Once again, I go back to Mortal Kombat selection screen, right? Mm-hmm. Your attributes, right? No matter what happens as far as style of play, you have attributes, right? Your jumping's 90, your intelligence is 50, whatever the hell it is. Okay, so whatever the time is now, I'm taking this guy's intelligence attributes or whatever. It's a wash forever. Like, and that, but the reason it's a slippery slope is because the only reason you have a LeBron is because of the foundation that was laid by Michael Jordan, right?
That don't mean that the next person can't be better than that person.
No, I'm not saying that. Well, it's guaranteed. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying what I'm saying is it's almost guaranteed that the next wave of people, just like right now, you got Luka's coming out with a skill set that we were awing at what LeBron did, and this is far his skill set's far exceeding what LeBron had at that age coming in. Right? And he played pro ball a couple of years before he even came over. So then he's playing a better level of competition before he even came over. So that's all I'm saying. Like, yes, you can't compare.
All I said was I said it's all relative. This is what I mean by that. In the 90s, teams had 2 stars and role players. Every team had 2 stars. Don't say every team. Every championship caliber team normally had 2 stars. Yeah. So I give you Shaq. Penny and Shaq.
Yeah, you had your 2.5.
Jordan and Pippen.
Well, your 2.5s. There was your Horace Grants.
We're not going to disrespect the third guy, but you have 2 year in, year out all-stars, guys who will be all-stars on any team.
Sure.
You should to be a contender. Okay? So, what I'm saying is, if that's how the teams were built, now, you have Durant, you have Curry, and you have Klay Thompson. Mm-hmm. You have LeBron, you have Kyrie, and you have Kevin Love. These teams have 3 all-stars. You have Bosh, you have LeBron and Wade.
Yep.
You have
Kyrie, Love, Bron.
Then before that you had Garnett.
Yeah,
Paul Pierce, Ray Allen,
and that was even a 3.5.
3.5 with your young Rondo. But I could do big 3. Then Lakers.
They tried it. It was whack.
No, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about.
I think you owed them.
Yeah, because sometimes your big 3 don't necessarily have to be literally an all-star, but it's somebody. It's just so you have your Kobe,
because that's
Odom, Parker, Duncan, Ginobili,
who's also 6 man.
These teams are built around that. Sure. That's why OKC tricked it off the most, because they were the next dynasty.
Right.
They just smoked it off.
Well, their big 3 was too big.
They didn't allow it to be what it was. Like, you have to allow it to grow into what it's supposed to be. They weren't patient enough, and they picked the wrong guy. Because here's the thing. They picked the wrong guy. People don't think about that. They picked Ibaka over Harden. They felt like Ibaka was more of he's a big guy. We already have a point guard. Yeah. We already have the wing. What's the point of having 2 ball handlers? So they picked the wrong guy.
Well, also, I think, too, it's just like, I don't know how you can predict sometimes how crazy good. Like, he did. Like, I ain't gonna lie, Harden was nice, but nobody knew he's gonna go to Houston and become the premier player.
This is the other thing why people it's laughable when people be like, nobody else could do this or nobody could do that. Bro, all people need is a chance to do it. No, they just need to be put in the situation to do it. So when I said this years ago, I was like, Ginobili would have been like Harden. And it's like, no, he wouldn't have. Okay, so there's a documentary where James Harden talks about what he thought his career was going to be, and basically he was like, I just thought I was always going to be the 6th man for OKC. Like, that's what I thought was going to happen, and then the trade happened, and I was like, wow. So the point is, if he was content with that, his career would have looked like Manu Ginobili's. Mm-hmm. And then imagine telling somebody, this dude probably can average 40 in the right system.
Yeah.
Hell no. Man, people just need the opportunity and the situation, and and the great players could do damn near anything.
Well, the problem is a lot of people...
Not to say it's the best thing to be doing, but you could do it.
Well, a lot of people haven't played basketball at any kind of competitive level. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or even if you haven't technically understood basketball at a competitive level. Because there's a difference. There's, if you just was born 6'9" and could jump 40-inch vertical, you could have a pretty decent career in basketball. You know what I mean? Without fully the guys that are special are your Kobe's, are your LeBrons, are your guys that have the tools, that were fortunate enough to get the physical tools, but then were also fortunate enough to see the game the way sometimes you're fortunate enough to see the game, because sometimes it ain't nothing but just like I was talking about in the last one, just I picked up a ball and it was right. You know what I'm saying? And then they mix that with the hard work. Then those are the real special guys. You know what I'm saying? And that's all it is. So there's a bunch of dudes, those next tier guys are just physical guys who don't mind working hard, but maybe don't have the vision, or vision, not so physical, work hard. It's some combination. But luckily you have 3, and so I just think. But there's, once again, I can understand it from a GM's perspective. Like, he's the 6th man. Either you can see he's good. He feels he deserves a certain amount of money, and you're like, he's our. I mean, there's no way to know you're going to put that. There's no way that you pay him, like you said, you pay him that money. He ends up being a 6th man and you get rid of Ibaka, he ends up being a 6-man for the rest of his life. Ibaka's got a ring right now, don't he?
Yeah.
So Ibaka goes on, wins a ring. Everybody goes, you freaking fools. You got, you know what I'm saying? You kept him. Ibaka went off and ended up getting a ring at some point. You can't win on that. So I understand what they did. And
they were a year away. They were going to win. People
and that being said, it's not like Russie and them didn't go and have every opportunity, right, to do it without Harden. So it's not like they just blew the
that's
call.
The thing about dynasties, though, is dynasties become dynasties because it's not really a lot of chance involved. It's a lot of sure shot. We winning. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it, like, we're winning this year and next year and probably the third year. That's what a dynasty
feels that way, though.
No, but what I'm saying is when you have Curry, Durant, and Clay, you're a dynasty. Without Durant, you're just a team who probably gonna get you one.
And they had 2 before he came.
No, they had one before he came.
Oh, they got
went,
2 with him?
and they were never going back again.
You think?
It was over. It was over. All things come to an end, brother. Like, they're not just gonna keep. They were cooked.
That's funny because I honestly think getting KD prematurely, they kind of gave up the future for the immediate.
Man,
so they were smart. When they got them, I feel them. It was guaranteed I'm about to get 1 or 2, however long this dude decided to stay. Right? Maybe he stays a long time. We get a bunch, but I don't believe that. I believe we take that KD money because what they did too. People act like it was. The Warriors were, yes, that was big 3, but a big part of that team that made them devastating was that second team. They had guys coming out a lot of guys that could run first. No, wait. So when you took KD, you traded that, and you traded a certain amount of functionality and order for KD. And yes, you got what you wanted. You got your 2 quick ones, and then you could see it all fell apart. Ego started flaring. KD got hurt, but you couldn't do anything about it because you traded all your chips in for KD instead of any kind of reasonable bench.
You wouldn't have had nothing.
I don't believe that.
They wouldn't have had nothing,
I don't
bro.
believe that. I don't.
Dude, you see it all the time. Teams come.
I'm a Cavs fan, and we lucked up on that win.
Teams come, and you're playing. For an example, how long did that beautiful system and all that work for the Kings?
The King, but they never won nothing.
Yeah, they didn't win, but I'm not gonna sit here and act like losing the game 7 to Shaq and Kobe means y'all not on that level. You're on the level. You just lost to the greatest team.
All right.
One of the greatest teams ever.
But what it means is...
So you're on the level. So the point is, how long were they at that level?
But that level is cool.
About 3 years.
But did the formula work? The formula worked good enough to get you to getting your face stomped in. And now, granted, also, that's a tricky one to pick. Because we got to go down the rabbit hole of, to be frank with you, that they got cheated. Like, there's.
Let me ask you this. Okay,
the NBA chose the Lakers.
This is what be funny about, because you be on the fence because of, you're a Cavs fan, but you are kind of the more realistic, or not realistic, but a realist about LeBron. To me, you're not over the top with it. So, I think Russell Westbrook got hurt, if I'm not mistaken. I think he got hurt.
Oh, yeah, when Pat Bev rolled his knee or whatever. Yeah.
So he doesn't play that year. I think even somebody for the Clippers may have been hurt. That's here nor there. But most importantly, if Kyrie and Love play that year, I don't want a long answer. I just want do you think they win, yes or no?
Who wins?
Do you think the Cavs win that year if Kyrie and them play? The game where it was already 1-1 because Kyrie played
we were up. We did come out,
and they were finna go back to Cleveland.
No, I feel like I had to wait. I had to go back and look at it. And no, I think we have a very. That's a trick question, though.
Ain't no trick question. They win. I'm sure most people. Well, I would tell you this. Most people would say, "Oh, LeBron would have won. The only reason why they won is he got hurt. He still averaged 1 billion points and everything. And he should have got the MVP even though they lost."
And
okay,
what
so
I would say.
They should have won. So the point I'm making is that Golden State team without Kevin Durant is like the Kings. They're like Dallas. They're like a lot of those really, really good teams to where it's like, man, I want them to win. They should win. I hope they win. But there's no guarantee that they're going to win. They're legit like that. KD made them to where it don't matter if you get hurt and if whoever plays, we can beat them. That team without KD was under the mercy of just it has to line up right for them.
But it did though.
Okay, that's fine. But how many times do it line up right for you?
But I can't guarantee that just because. So like I said, so here's why I said.
How many times it lined up right for Dirk in Dallas?
Oh no, not many.
When the stars align,
that one time,
that's gonna be it, brother.
And I agree with that. That's the difficulty of winning a championship.
Now, if Kobe is on Dallas and it's him and Dirk, you know how many times the stars align?
Much closer.
Not closer. They align 3 to 4 more times. Okay, because they don't have to be perfect.
But you don't know if Dirk gets injured. You don't know. Like, for instance, I'll give you a perfect example. On paper, you couldn't align stars better than Shaq, Kobe, freaking Karl Malone.
You can.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
I don't care. I mean, they probably could be younger, but my point is, on paper, everybody was like, no. That's what I'm saying. But what I mean is this. There is no shoo-ins, right? So, yes, I could say that because those players got hurt, that's one of the primary reasons that the Warriors got to the finals. Because Kyrie got hurt at the beginning, that's why they won. And, yes, on paper, especially with the way things were going, that it should have won. But at the same token, you just never know. You never know. Kyrie could have played. We could have wet the bed. He was a rookie. I mean, we could play that side. We could play that game both sides. But I'm saying we could play that game both sides. All I'm saying is, like, there's no guarantees. Like, that doesn't mean anything. So when you have, to get back to the point, when you got those 3 guys, I just think, you have to look at a dude that's a GM looking at this landscape of this and going, okay, what do we have here? A freaking backup that I got to pay a crap ton of money, or a guy, and it's not like, let's not act like Ibaka wasn't out there blocking everything that was anywhere near him for a second. We're looking, let's not look with our minds that have this back, this hindsight that people love to argue these things with hindsight. At the time, Ibaka looked like the more valuable piece.
Yeah, and he was Defensive Player of the Year.
He was Defensive Player of the Year. That gets you your money, period. That's get you your money.
Yeah.
So what happened, though, is, I feel you. Harden knew what was up. He wanted bread. He knew he was good. And that was one. That's what I'm saying. That's one of those things you can't measure.
The reason why I feel that when I be like, man, a person made a bad decision, we're looking at it from one side. But now, if I was a coach on the staff, or if I was a GM and I was around them enough, this is my opinion, I feel like I would have known who was the real dude. And my thing is, how can you be around certain stuff and not know that?
Man, I don't know. I don't agree. Like, for instance, this is weird, but I was watching this thing about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, man. It's a little show about toys and how popular, they talk about He-Man, all these popular toys, how they became to be, the processes of how so it started as a comic book. Somebody saw, like, oh, this has a value. Like, you can make toys out of this. The artist wasn't even tripping. They was just like, I want to draw my comic book. Some other dude came from outside and was like, yo, I see a value in this, right? Mm-hmm. How many people did he walk up to during this story and be like, yo, I got some teenage turtles that are ninjas, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like, what? This is the stupidest thing I ever heard. Now, it's what, 500, 600, 700 million? It is the most popular, you know what I'm saying? Like, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles rolls off your tongue like nobody's business, right? TMNT it's nothing to think of that. Your son knows about I mean, like, we talk about generations of generations. Now they got so that's all I'm saying.
So sometimes you just never know.
You have to look at it, but I can't look at them dudes that turned it down and be like, those fools. Had I been an executive at the time and heard somebody talk about some Ninja Turtles that live in a sewer.
Good, I'm glad you said that. I feel like that about a lot of stuff.
You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, that's lame. Everybody just wants to be the hero.
Right.
Those fools, how could they? Like the McDonald's dude sold his share.
Yeah.
Bro, who knew that they was about to end? Also, you take out the credit of whoever took that on, right? I sell my share. That maybe somebody in that circle knew something about that particular thing that you ain't know. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. They could have got a different trainer in that year and would have changed that whole thing around.
I agree.
You don't know what sparks a championship.
I would say this, though. They dropped the ball. I did say that they chose the wrong person because I do feel like they kind of made more of a conscious decision to roll with Ibaka and make sure they paid him and yada, yada, yada. I think they should have paid them all. I think
that's
even
also
if you have to go over the cap or whatever it is, you do that. And if you had to choose one, I think James had something that made them who they were.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know, you were just talking about with Golden State and the bench and so on and so forth. Even with the Spurs, it was Ginobili who made them kind of like, you know, they have this thing. Like, there's other teams that have this part, right? But what about in the middle or the end of the first, you know, beginning of the second, where they're going on this run? And it's like, what is it? It's this dude coming off the bench playing against your backups who's killing you, who's getting 30. Lou Williams getting 30. Like, it's something that it's like, oh, okay, we have this thing that other teams don't have. So kind of with like you were saying with Golden State. I mean, now, keep in mind when we got into this whole thing.
We appreciate y'all for rocking with the Knowitalls, and please subscribe to Knowitalls podcast on YouTube to get new episodes, and the same on Facebook for interactive and community content.